Hi everybody, this is Dee over at Aloha Astro, and before we get into the new moon, which is coming up tomorrow morning on March the 17th of 2018, and before we look at what the planets are doing, I just want to point you in the direction of my site where there is now a daily forecast, and this is based not on sun sign astrology where I do a horoscope for each of the 12 signs. I feel like that can never be accurate enough, that it is much better for you to be talking to an astrologer on a regular basis if you are in tune with what's going on and wanting to use astrology to know what's happening in your own natal chart. And that is one reason why my rates are low in comparison to many other astrologers. I want astrology to be affordable and accessible for people, to help them to grow in learning and understanding it and being able to use it as a tool for themselves. So what this daily horoscope is based on the moon and the transits of the moon and what type of aspects the planets are making to each other in the heavens and how they would be affecting us in general, meaning society as a whole. And if you do know your own chart, you would be able to know where you have these signs that I mentioned within your chart, and you might be able to make the mental leap or jump to know, okay, what houses do I have that in? How would that affect me personally in a way that might be slightly different from what Dee is saying in her daily horoscope? But have you noticed that in general, there's a feeling or a mood to the day, and people behave in certain ways on certain days? That has everything to do with what sign the moon is transiting through. And so I look at that, and then I kind of sum up what the various transits and aspects are for the day and how I feel it would be affecting you. And of course, there are always some exceptions to rules, such as if there's a trigger, major trigger in somebody's natal chart, they might read this and say, but that's nothing at all like what my day is. However, the tone or the mood of society is what I am attempting to reflect here, and how the planets can potentially affect everybody. So it's not just about you, it's also about looking outside of you and seeing what's going on in the world and how people might react and respond to you. So I'm really enjoying doing this because I look around for art and images that I think convey some of the feeling of the day. And I'm doing this every day through a Facebook feed that comes directly to my website. If you follow me on Facebook, you'll be seeing this. If you follow me on Pinterest or Instagram or LinkedIn, you will also see this. Reddit, you will see this. I am cross-posting all over the place so that I can reach everybody. I have not decided to launch this into a daily newsletter because I already get enough email in my inbox. If you sign up for my newsletter, what you can expect to receive is a twice monthly email, if I remember to do it. I try to hit the new moon and the full moon, and I try very hard to make it happen on the day before, but most often it goes out on the day of. So anyway, I just wanted to update you on that, and let's take a look at what is going on in the heavens right now by looking at planetwatcher.com, where I've put in, let's get our time exact here for tomorrow. All right, the moon will be exactly new at 9:11 or 9:12. I've read both online when I went off to various resources to find out the exact time. So let's make sure we get that correct on the day as well. Here we go, March 17th. Just defaulted away again. Sorry about that. 9:11 and a.m. All right. It's also St. Patrick's Day tomorrow, and if anybody's drinking, I would say please be careful. Do not drink to excess. We do have a trine going on here between Jupiter and Scorpio and our Pisces planets, and of course the water signs have a lot to do with liquids, and Pisces energy in particular has to do with how we access spirit. And it's no wonder that we call alcohol spirits. It's because it alters our consciousness. And Pisces is a sign that has a lot to do with altering of consciousness and accessing higher realms of existence and opening up the imagination. And of course, alcohol stimulates these things. I know technically it's a depressant, but anybody who's gotten buzzed or drunk can say that, yes, they feel as though they are more imaginative, and they appreciate the side of life that is more emotional. It lets people's guards down. It relaxes them. I also find that type of altering of consciousness can very often bring out some of the negative qualities in a person. And be aware that this new moon that's coming up, it makes a lovely trine to Jupiter that says, oh, go ahead, drink more, you can handle this. And then it also makes a square to Mars in Sagittarius. And Sagittarius energy, of course, is like, yay, yay, let's do more, let's have fun. And it can be a very responsive, fiery energy that wants to engage with lots of other people and have fun and be jovial and tell jokes and be the life of the party and wear that lampshade on your head. But keep in mind that it is making a square to the moon and the sun, and therefore there's some tense energy here, and there is the tendency to do the Sagittarius type of thing, like put your foot in your mouth and say something totally stupid, or to stir up emotional intensity that might be painful, might be drawing on past pains or past hurts, because we do have a Neptune influence in here that looks back. Neptune is a planet that has a tendency to look back and reminisce or think thoughts of woulda, coulda, shoulda. So while you may be enjoying altering your consciousness on St. Paddy's Day and it's all in fun and whatnot, there is also a potential for some real sad stuff to come up, or for careless words that can hurt somebody else without you intentionally knowing it or doing it. Now, on the romantic level, I also feel that this Mars to Sun, Moon, Neptune, Chiron, men, be careful. If you're male, be very careful, because this square energy that I see between Mars and Sag and Saturn and Capricorn, issues can come up around promises broken, whether somebody really means something or not, or are they just faking it? Are they just trying to placate somebody? And truthfulness is going to be very important, I feel, at the time of the new moon, as well as reviewing whether somebody is truly in love or not, and accountability in relationship, and if there are problems in relationship, or if things are not progressing forward and it is not practical or realistic for the relationship to continue, then these things might need to come up at the time of the new moon or in the days immediately following, so that there can be forward growth. There are lots of transits aspects in here that point toward growth and expansion. Constructive growth is something that this sextile between Jupiter in Scorpio and Pluto in Capricorn seeks, and wise and constructive growth. And this is also, even though it's a minor aspect, it says don't go and do something stupid and throw away something that you have already built upon. Take a look and see what you can salvage or what you can use. And if we look at the impulsive, starting fresh, starting new, and wanting to get out ahead of things energy of Aries, we have Mercury and Venus conjunct right now in Aries. We have Uranus, it's been here for a while, planet of change, and that is in Aries. These are not all conjunct yet. Mercury and Venus are just the two that are conjunct, and they will be catching up here, although before Mercury even has a chance to really do the do-si-do with the planet Uranus, it's going to retrograde, and that will be occurring approximately on the 23rd. So we have about another week that Mercury and Venus are going to be fairly close together and moving along together, and then we have Mercury starting to think back over things, redo things, rework things. But particularly, what would it be thinking about? Perhaps individuality in relationship. Are your needs being met? Are you giving enough to your partner? Is it time for a change? Are you still in love? If you are not in love and you've fallen out of love, why? And what can you do to fix it? Is it fixable or is it not? So this can also apply not just to romantic relationships, but anything that you have been working on. It may be time for new beginnings and reconstructions in your plans, since we have 3 very work-oriented planets that also point to longevity. It's realistic, it's serious, it's real. The energy up here is saying, okay, what are you doing? And how long is it going to last? And how much energy are you feeding it? And is it worthwhile and constructive energy, or are you running around wasting time? So getting down to the point of things, and that can be challenging as you're sitting at the new moon looking at things, because we're sitting in the sea and the fog right now. And as we have the moon in Pisces energy, there's a lot of idealism. There's also energy here for going for the highest, and I do think that we should. However, start high and then be prepared to readjust or get practical and realistic. Don't allow the critical energy and the negativity to keep you from using your imagination and thinking as big as you possibly can. It is better to start off high and then adjust down lower if needs be. There's a real push for creativity as we have Venus and Mercury making a trine to the North Node in Leo. So passions can be running high, creativity running high. Some couples may have the issue of, should we have a child? Should we expand our family? That may come up. And if your baby is your business, the same thing might be coming up. Should I put some money into this? Should I go up to this next level? Should I look at how can I become more of an expert? How can I be seen? And what does that take? What does it mean? What types of habits and routines and disciplines, or how much money do I actually have to feed into it? And if I feed my time and my money into it, is there going to be a return? So I see both business and relationship coming up at the time of this new moon. And first, a lot of visions and desires and imagination. And then not long after, in fact, within the same day tomorrow, we will shift from the new moon in the morning in Pisces energy to the moon moving into Aries, and wanting to get going, wanting to make a real start of it, and then looking around and saying, okay, what do I need to do? How do I launch this? How do I talk about me or my needs? How do I take what I've been sitting with here in my dreams or my meditations and bring it out to either other, one-on-one individual situation, or the larger group or organization, or, the public at large. So there will be quite a difference in energy between the morning and the evening tomorrow. And if you get inspired early in the morning, you might find yourself literally staying up quite late tomorrow evening to get your plan together. If you're ready to launch something, if you have some inspiration. So we may start the day tomorrow by going within. There may be some dream hangover, especially because today we have the moon joining Neptune. So as we're going into our evening tonight on the 16th, we are very dreamy. And then tomorrow, there may be some dream hangover, but pay attention to your dreams. Set your intention tonight on the 16th that you will get the answer to questions, and that you'll be shown in your dreams what those answers are. Then make a list of your questions. and see what the morning brings you, and make sure you put a piece of paper or keep your phone to record, something near the bed, and take those few extra minutes in the morning to record those thoughts, to think about your dreams, because we definitely are in the realm of sweet dreams tonight, and not just sweet dreams, but dreams that can give us the answers. So let's take a quick look over at the Sabian symbol for where the moon will be, and we rounded up from 26 degrees 53 minutes to 27. The harvest moon illumines a clear autumnal sky. Now we're at the opposite side of the year, but this is still what the Sabian symbol is talking about. It talks about fullness and ripeness. For astronomical, the light of fulfillment that blesses work well done. For astronomical reasons, the full moon of early autumn, the harvest moon, appears slightly larger than all other full moons. In our temperate northern hemisphere, these are the days when the green of summer fields and woods has turned gold and warm brown, days for the reaping of the good harvest, if all has gone well. This symbol brings us the message that the time has come to reap what we have not only sown, but also cultivated or failed to cultivate. This second stage symbol once more stands in opposition to the one for the preceding stage, new moon having now become full moon, indeed the fullest of all full moons. The key word is consummation, but in this consummation, this karmic moment, the seed of the new cyclic manifestation is already latent. I feel that the moon being, even though it is new for us, it is in Pisces, and Pisces is the last of the 12 signs. In terms of consciousness, as we move through the 12 houses of the zodiac and the 12 signs, beginning with Aries in the spring, and here we stand at the beginning of springtime and the sun beginning to enter Aries. So we are on that crux between the consciousness of the ripeness of the autumn and the beginnings of the spring. And this kind of echoes for me what I just said about take your highest vision of what you hope to achieve at the time of this new moon and make it as big and as wonderful and as beautiful as you possibly can imagine, and then take a look at what kind of work that involves and what do you need to make as a daily habit and a daily discipline. I know for myself, and I no longer garden, but gardening, you start out with these wonderful hopes and dreams and visions as you look through the catalogs in the late winter, and you buy your seeds and order your plants and get the soil ready, and then you plant things, and it seems as if it's taking forever to grow. And then the tendency for most people gardening is that once the plants are really coming in, a certain amount of neglect goes on where you stop going out and checking things every day. You're no longer waiting to see if something's going to germinate and pop out of the soil. Oh, the plant is up. And then a few days go by and you go back out there and you realize that something's been eating your plants, or the weeds are actually growing faster than your plants. So these are things to consider, especially in light of what we have going on with these planets here and the tension that they are producing with this very impulsive starting energy, while we have Mercury coming up to retrograde, and the retrograde will be between March the 23rd and I believe April 15th. Go back over your good things. Look at what's going to give you gain and pull out the weeds. And if you yourself have gotten lazy because life is good, or you got some good results and now you're going to go off and play and forget about your daily routines that are building your business or keeping your relationship alive, well, then you're going to get a rude awakening. Something's going to come and, eat up your plants or start showing interest in your partner, and oh my goodness, where's my partner? My partner's busy talking to somebody else. So pay attention over the next couple of weeks. Have a very blessed new moon in Pisces and enjoy tonight's dreams. Set your intentions tonight. Keep that piece of paper and pen by your bed. Make a list of your questions and see what the morning and the new moon tomorrow brings you.